Hello students. Today we will continue with our chapter 18th century political formation class 7 history. We have already recorded 3 lectures from this chapter, starting with the downfall of the Mughal Empire, then the emergence of new states, and then the 3 states that worked independently from the Mughal rule. Today we'll continue with the same, and we'll move on to the rulers who were indirectly in the name of the Mughal Empire, but they practiced and enjoyed independence, plus those rules who continuously struggled to keep their authority intact against Mughals and different kind of invaders. We'll start with the Watan Jagirs. The Rajputs. The Rajputana was initially in continuous struggle against the Mughal emperors, but later on, with the advent of the rulers like Akbar, the Rajputana accepted the Mughal rule and started serving the Mughals mm, as nobles and ministers. Though they were ruling under the name of the Mughals, they enjoyed enormous autonomy in their particular areas. We come across the rules of Amer and Jodhpur who enjoyed autonomy in their Watan Jagirs. Some important names that come across are like of Raja Ajit Singh, the ruler of Jodhpur, who was very intently involved in the factional politics of the Mughal court. Also, Savai Raja Jai Singh of Amer, who was appointed the governor of Malwa and who also was very competent into extending his territories and conquering different areas. Savai Raja Jai Singh also founded the capital city of Jaipur. Later on, in the 18th century, with the downfall of the Mughal Empire, these rulers started attempting to extend their control over the adjacent regions. The Savai Raja Jai Singh started seizing portions of imperial territories in the neighboring Watans, that is the area. Like Nagaur was conquered and annexed to the house of Jodhpur, while Amir acquired a large portion of Bundi area, that is uh, located near the Hadoti, Dakota zone. So these were the areas who were indirectly under the rule of the Mughals and were with the downfall, with the weak condition of the Mughal Empire, were now struggling for independence and were stretching their areas, their provinces, which brought them into contact with the neighboring areas and started the conflicts. On the other hand, there were different zones like the Maratha, the Sikhs, and the Jats. These rules, these provinces were not in the favor of the Mughal Empire right from the beginning, and with the downfall of the Mughal rule, they started working very hard for their independence. They never accepted the rule of the Mughal Empire openly and were continuously in struggle against this foreign rule. So let's start with seizing independence. The first state, the Sikhs, which prevailed in the zones of the northern parts of the country, the whole Punjab and some part of Haryana. The rule actually extended in between the river Satluj and river Jamuna, or Yamuna to be specific in present day, because Jamuna is located in Bangladesh. So Satluj and Yamuna, the whole rule was continued by different able rulers like Guru Gobind Singh, Banda Bahadur, and was associated with the names as popular as Guru Nanak Dev. These able warriors, they continuously fought battles against the Rajputs and the Mughal rulers and started the institution of Khalsa in the year 1699. Later on, we find that under the leadership of good and able people, uh, in the 18th century, the Sikhs organized themselves into small groups that were termed as jathas or misl in the later on period, and they started practicing activities like celebration of Diwali, Baisakhi, which were symbols. They were emblems of togetherness and brotherhood for them. Systems like Rakhi were introduced that were a symbol for providing protection to the cultivators on payment of taxes. So different activities were done to compel the Mughals and the Rajputanas to leave their areas, and they were continuously engaged in battles and struggles to maintain their autonomy, their rule in the respective zones. In the late 18th century, we see that the Sikh territories it extended from Indus to Jamuna, but the area was divided under different rulers. We also see that Ahmad Shah Abdali seized a very large province of Punjab and Sirhind from the Mughals. This was a blow over the Sikh rule in the zone. Later on, we see that the introduction of Maharaja Ranjit Singh reunited all these scattered groups, and he established his capital in Lahore in the year 1799. So, we see that the Sikh Empire was continuously in struggle against the Mughals. In the next lecture, we'll continue with the same heading and we'll read about the Marathas and the Jats.